Good morning. My name is 𝗣-𝗨𝗶𝗰𝗁. I am the Assistant Fisheries Officer that is responsible for the islands of both Grand Bahama and Grand 𝗣-𝗨𝗶𝗰𝗁. In this project, we have Assistant Fisheries Officer 𝗤𝗨𝗾𝗊, who would have been one of the analysts. And in addition, we also had Constantina Hamilton McKenzie, who was also an analyst, and Mr. Ken Clark, who was virtually present as our engineer. It was very unique for this particular site here in the South because we do have was present actually while we were mapping this particular site. All right, so just to give you a brief overview of the importance and applications, so why was it so important to us? This particular site has a canal system that is surrounded externally by a mangrove system. And this particular mangrove system was also damaged by Hurricane Dorian in 2019. So why was it these mangrove systems are important? These act as a fish nursery. So while we were there doing some initial ground truthing, you would have noticed that there were some fishes, lobster, blueball, mangrove snappers that were actually in that habitat. So some of the marine resources that we would have identified was the fish nurseries and the creeks, as well as some of the marine resources, the resource users, which would include the kayak operators, fishermen using the landing sites. So what is the space used for? Considerably fishing, which would include bone fishing and some slightly commercial, kayaking, bird watching, recreational, and residential activities as well. So monitoring applications. So what is it that we wanted to monitor? The growth and health of the mangrove system, the structure stability of the canal system, and identification of multiple entryways into the canal and mangrove systems for possible poachers. So just to summarize, Bravada Lost Road would have given you some background information. We do marine and land enforcement, so we do get active calls coming in where we do have to act. All right, so the infrastructure for this particular project, we would have considered the canal systems, as this is a developing area here, the boat ramps that are utilized by the fishermen, as well as the kayakers, as well as the roads. The threats that are associated with this area are poaching, pollution, as well as mangrove destruction, and the jurisdictional boundaries fall under the Grand Bahama Port Authority, as this is mainly a residential area. An additional stakeholder that we would have included is Waterkeepers Bahamas, who was involved in the mangrove restoration of that area. So this was key in this particular project as well. So here we have some photographs. Like I mentioned earlier, we would have observed great mangrove snappers. So we also have a nighthawk. This is a file photo from a previous mangrove restoration project there in Grand Bahama. All right, so let's talk briefly about some of the flight plans. So what we wanted to do was create a standard-based map as well as a video plan of the area, because we know that the resource users, the kayaks, use this particular trail in the northern area of the map. So we wanted to ensure that we would have incorporated this to get a bird's eye view and also to see the efforts of the mangrove restoration. So additionally, we wanted to ensure that we would have captured a lot of photographs into this project as well. So what are desired results? What are our preliminary site findings? So we would have utilized the DJI Air 2S and we would have flown at 110 meters. We would have had a total of 5 flights, which lasted about 55 minutes. We took approximately 394 images, mapping 174.2 acres. Also, mosaic resolution was very successful with 3.3 centimeters per pixel. We have a beautiful elevation model, which was taken at 13 centimeters per pixel and a map overlay. So we would have gotten a map from the Bahama Port Authority, which was very important to help us plan the mission. So you're going to notice in one of the upcoming photographs that there is a map of the residential areas and different features. So this picture here shows the elevation model. So as you can see, the blues represent, the water. And then you can see it goes into different colorations to show the different levels, shown with the yellows and the blues. This is the integrated map that we would have used in our planning as well. All right, so here now we have our metadata table. So this is what we utilize to help plan our map. What is it that we need? Who are the resource users? What is the infrastructure? And so we would use these different color codes because we needed to place them at elevations on the map. So what are our baseline results and findings? So this right here is our complete annotated map, where you can see in purple, we have 2 damaged boat routes, which are annotated here on the map. The red that is going along the canal systems would indicate the incomplete wall, that is approximately 2,830 meters. So this was something that the Grand Bahama Port Authority wanted to know. So we were successful in getting the meters, so they will be able to know exactly how much they will be utilizing for repair. In addition to that, we have noted 55 acres of damaged mangrove areas. So this is something that will assist waterkeepers in the future and other NGOs in the mangrove restoration project. Next, we had 5 point sources of pollution. These pollution would have included garbage disposal, as well as some coolers. And lastly, we would have identified 2 creeks flowing into the northwestern region. Where the fines indicated. Those creeks are also present there as well. So lastly, what are monitoring strategies and next steps? So how often are we going to be monitoring this? So as it relates to the Grand Bahama Port Authority, we will do an annual flight survey to ensure that we check for the infrastructure. And similarly, we will do it yearly for the mangrove restoration for waterkeepers. As it relates to the Department of Marine Resources, for the monitoring of the closures, we will do it on the as-needed basis. So finally, what are our next steps? Stronger collaborative effort as it relates to participatory UAS approach. So this will be inclusive of mangrove restoration projects,